The college basketball experience preview and picks for Friday NCAA tournament, March 21st. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our free bracket challenge. $2,000 winner take all. Enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. Remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Krog from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. Friday picks for the NCAA tournament, March 21st, as well as NIT picks for Wednesday, March 19th. Excited to bring you all this action as currently San Diego State's getting destroyed. They should have never been in the tournament. North Carolina's winning, but they should have never been in the tournament. And Xavier plays tomorrow, who should never been in the tournament. So what do we have here, folks? I guess we credit North Carolina for a 22-point lead right now. But youtube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Dant, Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price. But no one touches Dundee.
Awesome first game with Alabama State advancing, but the penalty for a game that awesome is a game this shitty. We had back-to-back air balls. Just horrible shit. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the Ride and Rush show. Make sure you check out the college basketball experience pregame shows. Give it up for former video coordinator for Hall of Fame coach Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, Ryan McIntyre, aka Moneyline Mac. How are you, man?
Doing good. You know, we handicapped the matchup, but you know what we forgot to do? San Diego State's in the quad 2. They're not a quad 1 win. So this is right in Carolina's wheelhouse. If they'd been a quad 1 team, they'd be fucking Carolina up. But they're the kings of the quad 2. So that's why they're winning. I'm going with that. Yeah,
I thought their defense would be able to keep them in check a little bit more, but I knew this. I knew they were offensively challenged. They could sure use. I don't know how they don't have a better NIL collective, considering they went to the fucking national championship 2 years ago. But that, remember, Johnson, the big man, transferred to Arizona the next year. Micah Parrish this year to Ohio State. Lamont Butler to Kentucky, and I feel like there was another one or two I'm forgetting. Those are huge losses. I don't know, but I can tell you this is a true ass whooping. Credit to North Carolina, but once again, credit. They played good here, but it's just that both these teams shouldn't be playing. Boise State beat San Diego State in a playoff game. Boise should be in. UNC should not be in the field of 75. All right. So that's the reality. They shouldn't be. Number. Yeah. So anyway, your thoughts, geez, this is like a 40-foot three just goes in. We're also joined by third man in the booth, the host of the college baseball experience and the man on the boards. Give it up for the great Noah Bieniek. How are you, brother?
Vibes are high. Because this bracket that I just read on the last show that we did, check it out. Bracket picks futures episode. UNC in the Elite Eight. I went out on a limb with the first 4 team to make a little bit of a run, and we're gonna cross our fingers that the 24-point lead at half holds on in the second half.
That would require you got to beat 3 more teams to get to the Elite Eight. You got to beat a quad one. You got to beat a quad one team to actually get to the Elite Eight.
No, I mean,
all this hatred and doubt has fueled them this week.
Well, I'll say this: even if they went to the Final Four, it doesn't change that they shouldn't have been in. Like,
no,
a team can get, a
there
team can get
always
hot.
a team like this, though. No matter.
Never this bad, though. Never this bad, in my opinion. Where they kicked.
Last year, Florida baseball should not have been in. Like, I'm just saying, no matter the sport, there is always one team where it's like.
I think the bigger thing is like they kicked out West Virginia for them, where West Virginia was soundly in. Like,
yeah, we weren't even a bubble team.
Yeah, like I don't really give a shit where like, okay, I personally thought Boise State proved that they were better than San Diego State, so why put San Diego State in? I personally thought, though, that Boise State and San Diego State had a better resume than Xavier and North Carolina. And I mean, that's what we should be grading on, because these are all hypotheticals, but North Carolina's beating the shit out of them. Whatever. I mean, it doesn't really prove anything to me.
You ever notice who the league always is that benefits from the extra bid?
Yeah.
It's always the ACC. Syracuse, once upon a time. How many times did Syracuse get the beneficiary?
Oh my God! But they went to like the Final Four or something, or the Elite Eight or something.
Remember they randomly put Virginia in last year? We're like, what? It was just because Tony Bennett. They had to get the Tony Bennett in there. Yeah, it's amazing how the one league always seems to get the nice benefit of an extra bid or two.
It's Illuminati, man. All right. Well, look, we're going to break down the games. Currently, there's a bunch of NIT action going on. We started off red hot, by the way. Jacksonville State money line. Kent State getting with it done against the Bonnies with ease as well. Slew of other games going on or just ended. But right now, let's jump on over to the rest of. If you're wondering why we're starting with Friday, it's because last night's episode was Thursday. All the Thursday games are out there. You can listen to them. If you want a deep analysis on those games, it's all there. So go check it out. But let's get into the action as far as this Friday. And we're not going to know one of these games. And that's another thing to mention is the BYU angle.
Yeah. Can't play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've altered their seat a couple times over the years just because they can't play on Sundays.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be an easier show because there's not as many games, but yeah, let's get on over to Friday. But one of them, like I was going to say, the winner of this, I think we can pencil in North Carolina. Will be playing Ole Miss, which I do not have a slide for yet, but I guess I should have made one based on the outcome there. 2 minutes ago.
Thursday, right?
No, it's on Friday. They gave him extra rest. That's what I'm saying. Because BYU, not only does Carolina get in and play San Diego State, they give them an extra day of rest.
They play Ole Miss.
No,
yeah.
But I'm saying they gave them gave them the team that didn't belong to be in as well.
And they give them rest.
Right? And then they give them an extra day off.
Bullshit.
Fucking ridiculous.
Oh,
you can't write this.
I didn't even know. I didn't even put those two together that they played on Friday. I just figured when you play on Tuesday, you play on Thursday. Like the 16 seeds that just played. Hey, Alabama State's got to play at like 1:00 on Thursday. They just got done playing. Oh yeah, you get Auburn at 1:00. Carolina, you get an extra day. Go to Ruth Chris and enjoy a nice meal.
BYU doing them a solid, right? All right, well, let's get into it, and we can try to figure out where this game will fall along everything. But yeah, right here, youtube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there, and we got whoa. All right, do the drugs now. Raleigh, North Carolina, Baylor, Mississippi State lay at 1.5. If you listen to our well, we have several episodes out, but I'm going to take this Chris Jans team. To me, as much as they're the best offensive team I can ever remember Chris Jans having, they're also the worst defensive team that I can ever remember Chris Jans having. And Baylor to me has gotten hot at the right time, or I shouldn't say hot. They've gotten their players back. They're in a spot to get hot. I would say, getting healthier. They have experience in this field with obviously from a coaching point of view, but also some of their players. I think Baylor, and this is what cross zero. I think Baylor is going to beat Mississippi State. They're catching 1.5 right now, which I guess could matter in this game, but I don't know. I just think Baylor's better, so I will take Baylor to beat Mississippi State. Mac, what are you doing here?
I like Baylor. You know me, man. I like the Big 12. But I've been saying for a couple weeks, man, I think Baylor is the kind of team, maybe they get out of league play, they can go on a little run with these guards. I think I like Edgecombe. I like Wright. Omier has been in the tournament, gone to a Final Four with Miami. Now he's man in the middle. And this zone is different when you don't see it all the time. And at Mississippi State, how many times have we seen them in March just fucking shoot like 20%? I know they're a much better offensive team with Hubbard, but they're still relying on Hubbard. I like Baylor here, Scott Drew, to get it done.
Yeah. Bieniek, what are you doing here in Raleigh, North Carolina?
I guess some of the more important pieces are healthy for Baylor, but they're still without their starting center for the entire year. Mississippi State dominates around the rim. That's where I think they'll have a little bit of success here. And I think this is going to be more of a high scoring game because Mississippi State's defense is a little bit of Swiss cheese, like Colby already mentioned. I wrote this up at 143.5 on the sportsgamblingpodcast.com. I had the East region preview, writing down my analysis and picks for every game over there. I gave out the over 143.5. I'm going to give out the over 144.5 here on this show. Cocked on Napkins got it at 148.5. I just think that in this matchup of styles, a top 50 team versus a bottom 50 team, I actually think that Baylor could be willing to run with the Bulldogs because of that putrid Bulldogs defense. So, give me Hail State to win this thing and the over.
All right, there we go. Some contrast. Next up, we will go over to Robert Morris taking on Alabama and Cleveland, Ohio. Bama's laying 20. I'm seeing 23.5 now.
No way.
So it's gone. I see 23. Yeah, I'll take Bob Morris just because they're gonna have that crowd a little bit. I feel like it's not far, right? I mean, I don't know how many fans will go, but I feel like this is their best season in a long time. So I would imagine.
I was at the Horizon League tournament. They did not have many fans there.
But why go to the tournament? Yeah, I guess if you think you could go to the NCAA tournament, but yeah, it's closer though than Indiana, right?
Yeah, it's
so yeah. It's a little tricky, but I'm gonna take Bob Morris plus 23.5. I think Bama wins by 18 or something, but give me the points. I think just the fact it's so big. Now Bama does fuck up these mid majors though. That's what scares me a little bit. Is they I think I was looking at that Kent State score earlier. I was like, damn. I'll take Bob Morris, but I don't feel great about this play. I actually feel better about SIU Edwardsville than I do Robert Morris.
Really? I like Bob Morris. I think that they have toughness. And to Rob's point, these games, if they're any bit close, they turn into road games for the 1 and 2 seeds because everybody that's any sort of neutral or with any other team automatically is not going to root for fucking Alabama. So I think that Bob Morris is able to hang in this thing. They did only have one high major game against the Mountaineers, and they got beat by 30, but they've gotten a lot better. Cam Woods, these guards are physical. I think they can muck it up and lose by 10 to 15. I think this is a tricky game for Alabama, but they get across the finish line at the end. So, yeah, give me the points and Bob Morris.
Shout out to Therese. Yes, we are covering the NIT. Stick around.
Our NIT picks are fire right now.
Yeah, we cover everything. Every college basketball game that's played this year and every year we will cover on this very show. Subscribe, tell a friend. Bieniek, what are you doing here in Cleveland?
Going out to give you guys another overplay. Robert Morris in Alabama might turn into a shootout. Last year, the round 1 game for the Crimson Tide put up over 200 points. Alabama in Charleston. So this one, I kind of see that going in the same way. Just that Alabama's defense isn't great, and also Robert Morris has a 5-man who can stretch out and shoot a 3. In Fulgaris there, Alvaro Fergaris. I forgot his name for a second. But he was the player of the year in the Horizon League. And I think Robert Morris should be able to put up some points and help us get this over. I'm a little bit less confident in them keeping this one close, just because Romo's defense isn't that great either. But I'll take I'm going to lay it with the Crimson Tide, but my bet here is the over 165.5. Cocktail Napkin, for what it's worth, has it at 168.5.
All right. Why do I feel like going to the next game, Lipscomb is taking on Iowa State and Milwaukee. Now, why do I feel like the Thursday games are so much better than the Friday games to start?
Yeah.
Well,
this is the Duke region day, and all these games were soft.
Lipscomb's catching 14.5 in Milwaukee.
Good point, though.
Against Iowa State. Yeah. I'm going to take Iowa State. I feel like this is like right on the number where I feel like this game will fall.
Is this the trendy 14-3 pick because of the injuries? Because they're by far the most popular on the spread.
Are they?
Yeah, because I think everybody sees Gilbert out and they're like, oh, Lipscomb, they make a bunch of threes, they're going to hang in there. I didn't know if you guys had heard a lot. I've heard a lot of Lipscomb love this week.
I haven't heard much from that, but
producer play. That's what
I mean, I'll take the points. I think it's going to be right around. I don't feel amazing about this play because I think Iowa State wins by double digits, but I think it's going to fall right around there. Give me the points again with Lipscomb. I just think they might be able to just stay in the game just enough to cover this. But I don't have strong conviction on this play. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll lay it with Iowa State to blow it open late. I think Lipscomb struggles against the high major sides. I know they can make a bunch of threes, but I think because they have the injury, I think the others step up and they get a nice game. Other guys make some shots. And we get a big game from Curtis Jones and company. So give me Iowa State to win by like 18.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I like this Lipscomb team a lot. With that said, I'm on the Cyclones. I was looking into Keshawn Gilbert a little bit. He has his hands on the ball a ton, but his turnover rate's high. So they do lose one of their go-to, guards, but maybe it helps them in the long run. And we'll see how the Cyclones do here. But I just think, Iowa State's defense is pretty stout. I trust them in a week worth of prep with TJ Otzelberger to be able to win the game comfortably. They usually beat the crap out of these mid majors. So I'm going Iowa State here.
All right, look, next, before we get to the next game, I want to let the good people know that the College Basketball Experience is part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and compete against us, the College Basketball Experience and SGPN, this March in our $75,000 winner-take-all college basketball survivor contest. Yes, March has never been this exciting. Enter at splashsports.com/SGPN. That's splashsports.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by SeatGeek. Look, there's nothing like catching live sports, live shows, whether it's comedy, whether it's fucking Book of Mormon, movies, whatever the hell. I mean, I guess you can see some movies. I saw a play of not The Shining, Misery. It's actually pretty good. So my point is there's a lot of great stuff. You get concerts. How many great fucking concerts are out there? Nothing like seeing live music. And every time I just recently went to an ECU baseball game. I caught that Misery play just because my wife wanted to see that. But it was better than I thought coming into it. So it's all available for you. Right. But one of the things I highly encourage you to do is check out SeatGeek, because SeatGeek has the best prices out there. I know they're our sponsor, but I'm saying I really believe this because I really use this. When I went to go there, I pulled out the app, right? I checked their competitors, and SeatGeek had the best pricing. They really did. So shout out to them because they deserve that shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and much, much more. And obviously March Madness is here, the greatest thing. And obviously the tournament spreads out across the United States. The NIT, which we'll be talking about in a little bit, the CBI, the CIT, I always forget which one is it. The CBI, the CIT, one of those isn't happening this year, but the other one is, CIT is not happening this year. CBI is happening. And then we have the Crown going on in Las Vegas. We will be covering all of that, but you got sport going on obviously everywhere. College baseball. I just went to a game that's going on throughout the United States. MLB just started. You caught that game in Japan last night, maybe. NBA, NHL continue to roll on. Golf, everything. NASCAR. SeatGeek's your best avenue for all of that, and SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a 1 to 10 scale, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And Pick Dundee came through for you because got you a promo code SGPN10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. Once again, that's 10% off any tickets with the promo code SGPN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. So shout out to SeatGeek. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience, and next we jump over to Colorado State, Memphis, and Seattle, Washington. Colorado State laying 1.5 now. Went down a point. The over under at 146.5 currently, so it went down a point as well over there. Guys, I am of the belief that Colorado State's magic, and you're kind of seeing it here with the Mountain West getting just completely. And I love the Mountain West. I'm at Mountain West Media Days every year, but they're getting their ass kicked in the NCAA tournament, and I think this matchup is more proof of them getting their ass kicked because they paired them with, to me, I know they're an AAC team, but they're not really. With the way they spend money, they're actually probably more comparable to a, I would say like top 30 with the way they spend money, top 30 Power 5. I think it's a bad matchup. I know Tyrese Hunter's out, but I just think it's first off, is he for sure out? Because I thought I saw someone say game time decision.
No, he's for sure out.
That's what I thought, but I thought
Penny Hardaway in the press conference said it's wishful thinking that he comes back this season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I still feel like Memphis is just way more talented than Colorado State. I think their height's going to be a problem for Colorado State, and I got Memphis winning this one outright there. Plus, 110. So yeah, Memphis gets it done against Colorado State. Excited to watch this game though. This is really out of all the games we just mentioned. I mean, obviously Baylor, Mississippi State, I think could be good, but Robert Morris, Bama, Iowa State, Lipscomb, little kind of snoozers to me. This one has me back on the map. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm on Colorado State. 12 seed laying points against 5 seed. I think it's the right team's favorite. I Colorado State, winners of 10 in a row, coming down the stretch. I'm not going to overreact just to one Mountain West game. And San Diego State, they've had their fair share of clunkers this year. I think Colorado State is playing at a high level, and I think they're different because they got a superstar, Nike Clifford. I think that he is an absolute stud, and I know Isaiah Stevens was great last year, but he was small. I think Colorado State's bigger this year, and I think that they're playing at a higher level and better defensively than they were last year coming out the stretch. So give me Colorado State to win a close one. I think they pull away, win by 5 or 6, and Memphis goes home early once again.
All right. By the way, Memphis won 8 in a row. I feel like both teams are similar. Teams are hot. Yeah. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I've just been less confident with Memphis in their 8-game win streak. Shaky against Wichita State, shaky against Tulane. They took care of business against UAB, though. I'm nitpicking.
Twice against UAB.
Yeah, I'm nitpicking, but you kind of have to be in a matchup that is within 1.5. This is a game that I planned on benedicting for the betting picks. I'll take the points and the 1.5 with the hook on Memphis. I went against the percentages. I think a lot of people in the bracket pools are taking Memphis right now. I looked at it was Yahoo's percentage, and that was the popular 5 seed to win over a 12 seed this season, it seemed like. So I'm going to go Memphis here, and it didn't pain me in the bracket to take Colorado State because I have Maryland going to the Sweet 16. But for this game specifically, I'm kind of with Colby. I think I'll go with Memphis. And the non-conference, they were pretty impressive in games that they knew they had to get up for. Speaking about Maui and some other teams against high majors, like a Clemson game that they won.
They beat Missouri. They beat San Francisco. They beat UConn. They pushed a couple teams to overtime too. Wasn't it Michigan State to overtime? Was that it?
No, UConn to overtime.
Okay.
But
maybe, yeah.
I just don't think you're going to get a sleepy Memphis team like you do in those typical bye games or sleepy AAC spots. So I'll take the Tigers.
Yeah. They also blew out Ole Miss by 20. Yeah, I don't know. I find this game very compelling. Can't wait to watch it. But yeah, that's one I am betting, by the way. So I will lock that thing up. I know we're saying we like to bet a lot of these, but this is the first one out of the 4 we've talked about. This is by far the best one that I feel good about compared to the other 3. Baylor would be second. Let's jump along to the Vanderbilt Commodores. All right, Cleveland, Ohio, taking on St. Mary's the Gales. This game's awesome. This is the best of all the games I think so far on this Friday slate. That is. St. Mary's laying 3.5. I put SMU. My bad. St. Mary's is laying 3.5, but
yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, St. Mary's University, I guess counts. Yeah, so there you go. I'm gonna take St. Mary's on some free throw. This is gonna be a close game in my opinion. This Vanderbilt team is to me, it's got experience. I feel like a good amount of transfers. What did they get? 3 or 4 transfers from JMU. So they won a tournament game a year ago is my point by saying that they beat Wisconsin in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. So, but I'm going to take St. Mary's. I think free throws at the end will be the difference. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with the Gales. Mac, what are you doing here?
You know how high I am on the Gales, man. And I think that loss at the end of the year reset them against the Zags in the championship game. So I think that they pull ahead or pull away at the end. I think the winning pedigree, to your point, had a couple heartbreaks over the last couple of years, a couple tough NCAA tournaments. I think they lock in defensively and get this thing done. I'll trust Marshall Lonis and Saxon here. I'll lay the 3.5.
All right, next up. Sorry, Bieniek. My bad.
I'm going to take the points with Vanderbilt. In the bracket, I also took St. Mary's, but I think the athleticism of the Commodores will be able to stay with SMC, in my opinion. In 7 of the 11 NCAA tournament appearances under Randy Bennett, St. Mary's has been eliminated in the first round 7 times of those 11. So I don't have a ton of confidence in the St. Mary's game by game. I'll take the points if you're going to give me points. I trust Byington, who got a win as a dog last year in the NCAA tournament.
There we go. Next up, we got great. This was one of the hardest ones for me to fit. I struggle with this one a lot. Grand Canyon is catching 10.5 against Maryland. I'm taking the 10.5, but I actually really struggled on who would win the fucking game. In my mind, I'm like, well, Maryland's got the much more talented roster, but they certainly lack tournament experience. And Kevin Willard's been terrible in the NCAA tournament historically. And then Grand Canyon, I'm like, well, they got a lot of guys that's been into the NCAA tournament. So I think that's a little bit of an advantage. I also think that crowd in Seattle will be rooting for Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I'm all over the points here. I think this is another bet that I feel pretty good about, but kind of fascinated by who the fuck wins the actual game. But I think this line's a bit off. Am I crazy, Mac?
No, I don't think you're crazy for liking Grand Canyon. The only thing with Grand Canyon is they won a game last year, so they're not sneaking up on Maryland. And I think also that Grand Canyon, when they did step up in competition, weren't as good. The games were close of. So I think you're right. I think I'll take the points with Grand Canyon. But Maryland wins by 7-9. They make their free throws at the end to grind it out.
Clear coaching advantage for Grand Canyon, though, right?
I don't know about that.
I think Kevin Willard's terrible. I think he's a terrible head coach.
Drew's been good. Drew's
Yeah.
been all right in March. I mean, he won an upset last year, and then he almost won a game with Valpo.
I thought he got a raw deal at Vanderbilt.
He lost his one game to Vanderbilt because the fucking guy fouled when the game was tied. Remember that shit?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I thought he got a raw deal at Vanderbilt. But I think Grand Canyon does have a coaching edge, in my opinion, but not by leaps and bounds. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I thought in conference play, Grand Canyon looked fine. In the non-conference, I was not impressed by GCU this season. I was actually underwhelmed. I thought they would be better than they were. And Tyon Grant Foster has been battling a little bit of an injury lately. He played 3 straight games in the WAC tournament, but prior had missed plenty. So I still think there's some doubt that I have with that. And I'll go with Maryland. They finished the season really well. And I like the fact that they didn't play 3 games in 3 days in that Big Ten tournament. And I think they get the job done on the money line. I think it's close to the spread. But my pick's going to be the Terps. I think they cover this. I actually felt pretty comfortable naming this as one of my looks for a survivor pick on the Instant Reaction show, and I stand by that.
Wow. I mean, part of me is like, I would love Maryland to go on a deep run. I just feel like every time I watch them, they look like shit to me. Like they look good, like talent, but to me in big games, they look all over the place to me. It looks like poorly coached to me. Talent we know is there. What do they call them? The Crab Five, right?
Crab Five, yep.
Yeah. The talent is there. It's just like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Willard makes a run. I saw he's about to get a big contract too.
Oh, he already signed it.
He already signed that. They're so dumb.
Top 10.
Maryland is so dumb.
They already got the loss out of the way though. They lost to Michigan in the Big Ten tournament after that was announced.
I just can't believe you gave him that much money right now though. Like, okay, we'll see how that goes for you. Yeah. Next up, let's jump on over to Norfolk State taking on the Florida Gators in Raleigh, North Carolina. Florida's laying 28.5. Good God.
We have to take the points with the way Norfolk looked against some of the high majors. They played Tennessee. They were competitive. They didn't get killed in that game.
I don't know, man. They look bad down the stretch to me. Like Norfolk's last 3 games, I was not impressed.
Here's my pitch to you guys. Todd Golden doesn't have an NCAA tournament win under his belt yet. They're going balls to the wall in the game prep and everything leading up to this game. And I think a lot of the guys know that on the team. Sure, that could be added pressure, but I think once they get that thing loosened up in the second half, this one might, get ran up. I don't think they're stopping with the way that Golden is with the analytics. All regular season, they ran up scores to boost their, ratings and whatnot. So everything that I've seen, I think Florida runs it up here too.
Gosh, now Norfolk is not far from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Norfolk was chippy in the bye games. They were, remember
yeah,
they had
still. I don't think, but I don't think they were. I think they were sleepwalking a little bit because Norfolk, is not going to move that needle.
I mean, do you really think like Florida's got UConn on deck? I mean, do we think that they just beat them like 50?
The Tennessee one too was New Year's Eve. Like
I know, but this is a 1 versus 16. I don't think Florida.
That's a spot you circle, and we're like, yeah, we're fading the
home. We're not circling fucking Norfolk.
You are. We bet that because we were like, Tennessee's going to go party for New Year's.
Well, Norfolk I'm saying Florida doesn't have this one circled off the SEC championship with UConn potentially on deck. Like I think if they cover, they just are that talented. They're not going to go, oh my God, we got to fucking drill Norfolk State.
Yeah. I'll take the points, I guess, but Florida wins by, I don't feel good about this fucking game. I feel much better about SIU Edwardsville.
I don't.
This is the one I like this. I don't know. I mean, Norfolk might have a little bit of the crowd. But yeah, I think it will be somewhere right around like 25 to 35. But give me the points.
Florida by 24. Let's go.
Yeah. Man, this is so much of a shittier day than the other day.
Fucking day sucks.
Troy is taking on Kentucky in Milwaukee. Here we go. Kentucky's laying 11.5 points now, but we know Jackson Robinson's out for the season. We know Kirk Christian has been a game time decision his whole life, right? And we know one thing. I think this line is
Lamont Butler too.
Yeah, I know this is. I think this is disrespectful. I think Troy has proven to be a pretty good team this year. I think Troy kind of passed. Now they did get smacked by what Houston and Oregon out the gate. I feel like. No, but I buy it in. Give me the 11.5 with Troy. I actually think the money line's live. Give me Troy plus the 11.5. Lock this thing up. With Kentucky's injuries and Connor Way, the guard for the Trojans who could ball. Yeah. Mac, what are you doing here?
All week I thought I was going to take Troy. And the more and more I thought about it, Mark Pope got upset last year. Kentucky got upset last year. I think you get a locked-in Kentucky spot here. I think Kentucky's – I think they're not going to take Troy for granted. I think Kentucky laser focus here. I actually think they pull away win by 15-20. I'll lay with the Big Blue Nation. There you go, Big Blue. I'm picking you. Let's go. In March, too.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Take all their foo-foo threes tomorrow.
Everything that Mac just said means pressure in my mind. Pope has never won an NCAA tournament game. A lot of these guys are experienced, but NCAA tournament experience outside of Lamont Butler, who might not play in this game, not quite sure. Kentucky fans lost last year. A lot of nervous energy in the building. If this one's tight at all, I'm on the points with Troy. I don't necessarily think they're going to win the game, but shout out to Cannabis Capper on the Instant Reaction Show. He was sold on this. This is his favorite.
I took Troy to win outright, man. Yeah. I took it on my bracket. I just think there's going to be an upset we don't see coming. And Troy, to me, they passed the eye test to me in a lot of their matchups. I thought, man, this team's pretty fucking good. And I think the injuries are a big reason why I'm taking the money line. But yeah, let's go. Next up, New Mexico, the Lobos taking on Marquette and Cleveland, Ohio.
This game is great, by the way.
This is a fire game. You got Shaka Smart, Patino. Now he's calling daddy, saying, I need that blueprint of how to beat him.
Yeah.
Get Gary Richmond.
Rick went 3-0 against Shaka Smart this season. So
yeah, he don't have those athletes on New Mexico. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's why I'm taking Marquette minus 3.5 points. Yeah. I did struggle with this one for a little bit, but I still think Marquette fans will travel to Cleveland, and I think they're the better team too. So I will lay the 3.5 with the Golden Eagles. Another tough one, man. I got the Mountain West going. I mean, I had San Diego State in this, but I'm saying I got Colorado State losing. I got New Mexico losing. Tough times. Mac, what are you doing here?
It's an interesting one for me because Marquette, I know they went to the Sweet 16 last year, but they ended up underachieving. They've underachieved 3 times in a row now in March under Shaka, and their favorite. You got Richard Pitino as a dog. They laid a big fat egg last year. And I know Donovan Dent's back. They got more size. I don't know if there's maybe some Pitino rumors on being on the move here, maybe a little bit of distractions. Give me Marquette to pull away late and win by 6 or 7. I actually think Marquette played St. John's pretty damn well this year. I know they lost all 3, but they lost 2 at basically the buzzer or in the last minute. So give me Marquette 6 or 7 in, set up a rematch against Sparty from 2 years ago.
Bieniek, what are you doing here in Cleveland, Ohio?
I'm taking the Lobos in this matchup. A big part of my handicap was the entire Patino, aid and a scout here, but every time that New Mexico took a step up in non-conference, they were competitive. They knocked off UCLA. St. John's, I feel like that was just kind of dad playing ball with his son in the driveway. That's the one exception here, but they knocked off USC by 10. They beat VCU by 7. They then ran the table pretty much in the Mountain West. I like the Lobos this season, and I'm disagreeing with the cocktail napkin here too. It has Marquette -6 in this one. The under's a good look here at 149 on the napkin, so I'll go with the under, and I'm going to Mexico here.
All right, next up we jump over to the Akron Zips taking on the Arizona Wildcats in Seattle. Arizona's laying 13.5. I will take the points in Akron. I think they have enough offense. And fuck you, Arizona. Do I remind you that you scorched my bracket when Princeton beat you 2 years ago? So I will take Akron plus the points. I am a little scared of this matchup though, because I feel like I wish Akron would have drew a different team, because I think it's a lot of scoring in this one.
Over is my favorite bet of the day. Over 166.5 here. The cocktail napkin has it 175. I just think that there's very little defense going to happen here. And Arizona's strengths, they have good depth, tenacity on the offensive glass. Kind of the Zips can kind of counter that in a way, but I just think that leads to a hell of a lot more offense. These two teams like to run. I think this thing goes over. This shoots over.
Mac, what are you doing here?
So what they lost by 17 last year to Creighton. This is kind of a similar game. I think they got a little more experience this time around. I'll take Akron in the points. Like I said, man, I have Arizona in my Elite 8, but it would not shock me if they lost this game or won the goddamn national championship with how high their variance is. Give me Akron and their veterans. They got some high major transfers from West Virginia on their team, James Okonkwo inside, and I think that they can keep this within the number. And I love Tavari Johnson and Nate Johnson. So yeah, let's go. Give me Akron and the points.
I'm on Arizona against the spread too. I didn't say that.
There we go. Next up, let's jump on over to the Oklahoma Sooners taking on UConn in Raleigh, North Carolina. UConn's laying 5.5. I am on Danny Hurley and UConn to win this game. However, I am not on laying 5.5. I think this will be a little bit of a game. Give me the Sooners plus the 5.5. I do think UConn will prevail, but give me this game to be a close one down to the end. So give me the points in the Sooners. Boomer Sooner. What are you doing here, Mac?
Boomer Sooner. I'm all over Oklahoma, man. I said that Florida's looking ahead to UConn. I think Oklahoma's going to beat UConn. I think that they're better than UConn. The SEC gauntlet warmed down, but they were 13-0 out of SEC play. I know UConn's got the big brand. They're the back-to-back national champions. But I just think that Oklahoma is a more talented roster here. And Porter Moser has a good track record of being an underdog in this tournament. So, yeah, give me Oklahoma to beat UConn, just like UConn did a couple years ago. They go out in the first round to end the back-to-back.
Bieniek, what are you doing here in Raleigh, North Carolina?
I think the wrong team's favored. The cocktail napkins got this thing at a pick. Oklahoma was undefeated in non-conference this season, 13-0. Granted, they didn't schedule tremendously, but UConn struggled outside of the Big East this year. It was not pretty. I do think there's going to be also a lot of scoring here because Terrace Reed, he might be a turnstile defensively, but offensively, I don't know if there's anybody on Oklahoma that could be able to stop him. So I like the over 147.5 in this one as well. Cocktail napkins got it at 152. But I'm taking the Sooners. I like it a lot. So I'm going to lock up Oklahoma here.
Bieniek locking up the Sooners. plus 5.5. Next up, Bryant is taking on Sparty in Cleveland, Ohio. Sparty is laying 17.5 points, not 17.2. 17.5. That's just a little too much for me. I think Sparty will win. But this Bryant team's got some players that played at the P5 level. Timberlake, pin zone. I'll take the points in Bryant, but Sparty by 11. Feel pretty good about this one. I'll lock it up. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, and Izzo and old Martelli Sr. are good friends. Martelli Jr. talked about it this year, and Izzo was talking about the potential next game. He said, I'm not looking ahead. I've been there, done that, lost in the 215 game before. But I think this is a hair high. Bryant's got some dudes, man. They actually got some high major athletes on this team. I'll take Bryant to cover this number. Like you said, Sparty 10-13.
Bieniek, what are you doing here in Cleveland, Ohio?
What's the team that we always compare Michigan State to? A Big East team in college basketball. Rick Pitino's St. John.
Yeah.
The Johnnies beat Bryant by 22. I feel like this is a matchup of anything you can do, I can do better. Bryant wants to be aggressive on the offensive glass. Michigan State is really good at rebounding, and they're going to get out in transition, and that's something that you do not want to test the Spartans at. And Bryant's going to play at pace. So that just means that Sparty's going to be able to put up some points. I think this, of all the 1 versus 2, 2 versus 15, I feel most comfortable about calling this one versus the margin of the spread. I think it's the largest cover.
Really? I completely disagree with you. I was on VSiN earlier today, and they said, which 215 seed do you think will be the scariest? And I think it's this one. So we completely disagree on.
I mean, Mac and I went with Omaha against your Johnnies, so agree to disagree there.
And I have the Johnnies covering that. I think the Johnnies going to win by 30. So yeah,
you're hating on the trash cans.
They're not a good team, so I feel pretty good.
They are
good.
They're
not. They're not against the Power 5 teams. They're just bullshit up there in the fucking the cornfields, right?
The Tommies are better than anybody. They finished third in the Big East,
and they would lose by 30 to St. John's too.
God,
they don't have any athletes.
UNC's up 31.
Yeah.
We got our dud, and then Carolina's going to do it. Remember when Colorado State fucking skull fucked fucking Virginia last year? What's the number for Ole Miss? Can we bet Ole Miss yet? Fuck this Carolina bullshit. This game is rigged.
It's just I can't believe they drew San Diego State.
Chris Beard ain't gonna fall for this fucking rigged game. He's gonna fuck Carolina
up. Next up, the Flamin' Libs are taking on Oregon. Oregon's laying 6.5. This game's awesome, actually. It's the final game on the slate. Obviously, we'll have Carolina against Ole Miss, but I don't have a slide for that. We don't have a line for that. We don't have anything for that. So, check the picks page there. Get the SGPN app. I'm fascinated by this game because of the styles, but it is in Seattle, which they hate Oregon. Now, here's the thing: their fans can easily travel, but they also, if there's fans that are just locally there, they hate Oregon.
Who are they paired with?
Arizona.
You got
Arizona's going to take over that bitch, and they are going to root against Oregon.
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated by this.
Maniacs. But I think it's an Arizona crowd, but which turns into the Lib crowd. Well, the Flamin' Libs. Not that kind of Lib. I'm not getting my good in Arizona fucking canceling me. I'm on your side, damn it.
That's hilarious. You know what though? I think this is going to be a game. I'll take Liberty. Oregon wins by 5. Liberty gets the cover. Mac, what are you doing here?
I think Liberty's alive, man. I love Richie McKay, and he's a Tony Bennett, disciple. And, man, when we talk about the Virginia job, we haven't really thrown his name around there. He actually should be a candidate. He worked for Bennett forever. He's done a great job at Liberty for these past, 10 years. I think they can slow it up, and I think it's a back-and-forth game, and I think Oregon maybe wins a one-possession game, but I'll take Liberty, and I'll sprinkle on the money line just because if it gets down to the wire, Arizona fans push them over the top. Give me Liberty and those little guards. Let's go.
I think UVA wants to get out of the Bennett tree. That's why his name hasn't been money.
They want to fucking have the championship.
Yeah, I mean that's
hilarious. That's why his name hasn't been buzzy. But yeah, I mean going to Ryan Odom is completely different from Tony Bennett.
Okay, but you remember life before Tony Bennett? You were a no name.
I'm not arguing. Yeah, I'm just explaining why his name hasn't been buzzy.
I didn't even maybe because Andy's older. He is older, but I actually think he'd be a good fit. Now, if he beats Oregon, all of a sudden he might be a hot commodity now.
That's true. I
don't think he's beaten Oregon. In my book, this is the way too cute 12 versus 5 upset pick. It's a brutal spot for Liberty. It's the latest game of the day on the West Coast. Just body clock, time zone, check, like two things that I don't love. First off, secondly, Pacific Northwest. I do think that Arizona will have a good contingency there, but Oregon's going to show up for this. I like the Ducks here. Their length on the outside is going to really mess with Liberty's got two small under 5'10" guards. Oregon's going to have them in hell defensively. A lot of tough shots, I think, are coming their way, and there's a 7-footer down low that they're going to have to be working through trees. So I like the Ducks. I like them by double digits.
I will say I'm rooting for Liberty because I'm picking them. I would like to see an Arizona-Oregon round of 32 game. Because
old Pac-10, let's go.
Throw it back to the Pac-12 for a nice fucking spot in the Sweet 16. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it really would. Folks, want to tell you the college basketball experience is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. When it comes to college hoops and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderellas advancing, Hail Marys by Alabama State, top seeds going home early, teams that shouldn't be in the dance, winning games by 40, right? Look, it's all happening. Bet the unexpected every upset every day with DraftKings Sportsbook with live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. First time customer, well, here's something special for you. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So what are you doing, folks? Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code SGP. Once again, that's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, they're throwing an epic March Madness party. And you listening, watching, you're invited. Yes, all Rhythm users are invited to a first 4 watch party tomorrow, Wednesday, March 19th at the awesome Stadium Swim in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Circa in downtown Las Vegas. And it gets better. Rhythm's also giving away a $250 March Madness future for one random lucky Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still win with the future bet there. And Rhythm's March Madness stats and success from 2024. They had UConn winning it all, and their percentage of winners was 39% higher than ESPN brackets as a whole. Rhythm predicted Duquesne, NC State, and Oakland upsets. 45% of Rhythm brackets had NC State reaching the Sweet 16. So what are you doing, folks? Jump on over, a free party, free drinks, plus a chance to hit a $250 future bet when you sign up with Rhythm. You get to hang out with Pick Dundee and some of the SGPN talking heads. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for the details. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, time for my bonus Underdog Pick'em. Because I don't know if you guys have been catching this, but we've been killing it over there. Cannabis Capper's been writing all these great articles, and I've cashed, I think, 3 straight lineups. We'll see how we're doing tonight. By the way, actually, I think I can actually talk about. I had Caleb Love. I think, not Caleb Love. I had RJ Davis. Jeez, I've been on air all day, so forgive me. But
I was gonna say who?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Only his girlfriend would know that. What does he currently have in this game? Can you find that out right now?
Davis, he's got 23.
I already cashed the higher on that, and it's pending this. Now we're pending this player in the. I'm drawing a blank on the kid's name from American. Tomorrow. Yes.
Rogers,
Yes. But that's some of the edge you can get over there at Underdog Fantasy for college hoops. I truly believe there is not a better edge out there. They got every other sport too: CFL, NFL, college football, UFL. Even they got golf, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, MLB, NHL, NBA. They got it all at Underdog Fantasy. Use our promo code TCESGPN. To claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you sign up. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost cards. And your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. And the best part is no credit checks. It's completely free. Sign up for Edge Boost and enter our free $2,000 bracket contest. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/bracket. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/bracket. All right. We are through all of the tournament games minus Ole Miss, North Carolina.
Pretty safe to say when there's a 37-point lead in there.
Did we pick Auburn and Alabama State?
Oh no, I didn't have that.
Is there a line out now?
I would assume
there wasn't one. Yeah, can you check on that? Obviously, I did not make the slides for that because the game was on.
Number on the North Carolina.
They're up by 40 right now, by the way.
Yeah, I think we can pencil Carolina.
Cash my bet.
They're gonna. Hey, to that one guy that left us money. Thanks for the donation. It's pretty. Who's winning here? You're paying me to respond to your comment. You are paying me to acknowledge your existence. Good job, nice win. You guys are hanging banners.
But we said San Diego State shouldn't be in the tournament.
Hey, they hang banners now in Carolina. Boy, has that program fallen apart.
This is an NIT game. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is an NIT game.
Wow.
Both these teams shouldn't have been in the tournament.
While this topic is a
game. This is a quad 2 game. We missed that on the handicap. I thought they were quad 1. They're quad 2, Carolina. That's why they're winning.
While this topic is up, Ole Miss would be laying 2.5 according to Ken Powell.
Lock, Ole Miss, Chris Beard.
I'll take Ole Miss too. I'll take Ole Miss.
Fucking, you were non-coaching Davis.
I thought Beard was the Indiana guy.
Now he's going to lock the fuck in.
Yeah, now I'm afraid he's going to be locked in, but I'm too far into the deep end with my North Carolina prediction. So give me the Tar Heels. They win this thing. They're back up against the wall. The world's against them.
They ain't going to be against them next game.
I mean, that's a real tournament team they're playing. San Diego State is not a tournament team. I know they put them in the tournament, but they're not a tournament team. We watch college basketball every night of the fucking season. They're not a tournament team. North Carolina's not a tournament team. I'll even say Xavier's not a tournament team to me. Those three. were all phony. They were phony.
And-
West Virginia.
And the team
guess-
that Rocco is all up in arms about that shouldn't have been in, and he's pulling like historical trends is Texas.
I actually think I'm okay with Texas being in. And you know me, I hate Texas more than any team in the nation.
Yeah, I know you do.
I would love an NCAA tournament without Texas, but I feel like they deserve
Historically bad job by the committee this year.
If I was voting, Texas would have got in. But the other three would have not, and you'd have Boise, and then you'd have obviously West Virginia wasn't even on the fucking bubble.
We shouldn't
What are we
even
talking
been,
about here?
We shouldn't even have been in Dayton.
Indiana.
They
Yeah.
skipped us.
Indiana would have been in too.
Hey, you know, there is a conspiracy theory. There was an Indiana member involved in the board. So not only did we have the Carolina chair committee, we had the Hoosier fucking voodoo behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Taking
Well, he was probably like, let's get Woodson out of here. I don't want him to. What happens if he goes on a run?
They probably had
Yeah.
Indiana in the tournament, and then he's like, no. Do not put them in and take West Virginia out because we're gonna take the breeze. So yeah, we got fucked so bad, but don't worry, we'll be back, baby.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna up the breeze.
So look, I know right now we're talking about an NIT matchup between Carolina and San Diego State, but don't worry. We got more NIT action coming right up next. Because Samford.
Was there a number on Auburn, Alabama State? Mac?
Oh
Yeah.
shit, I was looking up that.
What are we doing? I thought that was what all
maybe because it was 31.5 and I just did it. I was like, I don't want to fucking read this.
Was it 31.5?
Yeah, 31.5. Ugh. Lay it. They're all 3 out of 4 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lay it too. Auburn minus the points against Alabama State. Bieniek, you with us?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember who it was last year that beat the shit out of somebody. Yeah, I'm on Auburn, but I don't know if I can bet that number.
Who did UNC beat tonight? Is this like the equivalent of Stanford? Is this
No, I think Stanford's better than San Diego State right now.
With San Diego State's limitations? Maybe they're both quad too.
I know, but obviously Reese Waters been out for the whole season for San Diego State, which is arguably their best player. But also, that's what I love too. West Virginia can't come in the tournament because this player's out. What San Diego State has had Reese Waters all year.
Is Indiana, when they get to the committee next year, they're going to say, wait, Indiana can't be in because DeVries missed. He only played 8 games last year.
Yeah. But another thing is Magoon Guath or whatever is definitely not 100%. You watch him play early. I was like, okay, he's not looking very good. He's been out for a month and he looks like he's been out for a month.
Man, what about Cooper Flag? He just got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, what you gonna throw Duke out?
Yeah.
Houston was the team that I was trying to pull. Houston last year got their dicks kicked in the Big 12 championship game. Yeah. They went out and they stomped Longwood by 40 in the first round. I think you get something very similar with Auburn here.
Yeah, I think you're right. George Mason will be hosting Samford. Mason is laying 7.5, and that is too many fucking points for me. I will take Samford plus the 7.5. I'm going to lock this. I think Samford's going to give them a game. Mac, what are you doing here?
This is kind of a quick turn off a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah.
Like they just played Sunday afternoon, Super Bowl spot against VCU. Played well, played their hearts out, but Samford's a tough team to fucking play after you played VCU with that pressure. Yeah, give me Samford. Let's go.
Yeah, lock this thing up. Beat it. Triple lock.
I like Mason here. I think their defense will be able to show up.
All right.
So I'll lay the points and take the under.
All right. Next up, we have the Dayton Flyers. They can't play in Dayton, even though they're the higher seed. They're going to Del Boca Vista because because the tournament.
You so get a road game now.
They're the 1 seed, I think, too, right?
Yes.
What are they? I think they're the 1 seed.
That's hilarious.
So they're at Del Boca Vista. I'm still taking Dayton. I don't think Florida Atlantic's any good. I will take Dayton -1. You do wonder about morale with Dayton, a team that was projected to be in the dance this year in the beginning of the season, but I'll still take Dayton -1. No lock here. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'll lock up FAU. How motivated is Dayton going to be?
I know.
And they got to go on the road. Boca Raton going to be popping, man. Boca Raton outright. Fuck Dayton, they suck.
Money line back, locking up the Owls. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, for the reason that Mac mentioned, I agree with you guys on FAU. I just think that John Jacobs wants to try to build something. He has to try to build something at FAU, and this NIT run means a little bit more to them in this program than it does to Dayton. And I mean, the old folks home last year and early this year wasn't much of an old folks home. It was a lit environment. We'll see what they get for this NIT game here.
All righty. Next up, UAB taking on St. Joe's. St. Joe's laying 5.5. What am I missing here?
I'll lay it. Fucking UAB. This screams a blowout.
Like St. Joe's gives a shit about this game? No. Battle.
They wouldn't meaningless.
I'll take UAB money line play. Money line play. I think morale's an issue for both these teams. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I will go with UAB in the points. Cocktail Napkin has it at +3.5. If everybody plays and everything's better and smooth over after a couple of losses in the conference tournament, when both of these teams might have been a little bit hopeful of an NCAA tournament appearance, I trust Andy Kennedy a little bit more than I do Billy Lang.
All right, next we go to Denton, Texas, where Furman is taking on North Texas. This line, by the way, I'm sorry, North Texas is laying 8.5. That line there is not correct. 8.5 is it's a big number for me. I got to take Furman here. I can't lay 8.5 with North Texas. Who the fuck are you? You score like 54 points a game. I'll take the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll lay it. I like North Texas. I think they're super motivated. They'll guard the shit out of Furman. I think they'll wear them down with their athletes.
Is it me or is North Texas in the NIT every fucking year?
They're used to this.
They've spent a decade in the NIT.
Dude,
next year,
they should have put them in the game tonight. They would have put up a fight.
Yeah, and according to Moneyline Mac, their head coach might be flirting with the Dub V job.
Yeah, he's like fourth or fifth option.
Next year, I'm just calling them NIT Texas instead of North Texas. All right, NIT Texas playing Furman. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
North in Texas, and I will take Furman. I just think it's too many points in a matchup like this. Both of them are going to operate slow, but Furman's going to check up plenty of threes. That actually, the variance there could allow them to possibly go on the road and win this game. If they're losing, I think it's by double digits, and that's.
By the way, the total is 130.5. It's not 155.5. I fucked up the. Don't pay attention to that.
The total I have on the napkin is 139, so it's right on the dot.
No, I'm seeing 130.5 here.
Oh, 130.5?
Yeah.
So
take the over. Huh?
Yeah.
Next up,
sure
North.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I read the wrong number.
Okay.
What a shit show. 134. So still over, but
don't look now. San Diego State's got it within 37 at the 6 minute mark.
Within 40.
North Alabama's in Peoria, Illinois, taking on Bradley. Bradley's laying 2.5. I will lock up Bradley. I know North Alabama's good, but it's in Peoria. Bradley fans, I think, still actually show up. Because what else are you going to do in Peoria? All right. Mac?
They had some guys fucking opt out, though.
They did?
Did they?
Yeah, Bradley had some guys opt out of this.
Was one of their names Duke Dean?
Zeke Montgomery.
He's still solid, but it's not Duke Dean.
I just don't understand it. Like, why are you opting out?
One game get up. Everybody will overreact to guys opting out. They'll play for each other. Yeah.
Dean had a terrible Missouri Valley Conference tournament.
Give me Bradley. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me what is the? They're saying to get to the portal. Is that the, like I don't understand it. You could still say you're in the portal and play. You're like, I would want more tape out there. I just don't understand it. I don't understand not playing. You're at an age where you could be like, there's not many times that you can play basketball. I'm in my 40s. I would love to play basketball. Like in a college basketball game. This is like, it's unbelievable to me that you just say, no, I'm okay. This is like a nationally televised game. You're going to regret this when you're in your 60s and 70s. I guarantee you. I can't, I don't understand the ideology. I don't. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Bradley talked about it with Mac already. So,
yeah. Okay. Sorry, buddy.
No, you're good.
Northern Iowa is taking on SMU. SMU's laying 10.5. I'm all over Northern Iowa here. What the fuck is this? Is there players out in this too?
Probably SMU, unless they're offering him a bag on the side to play this game. You give me Northern Iowa, Ben Jacobson and company. You know they're going to be motivated. You know they're going to play hard, and they had a tough out there, losing to Valpo. Shout out to them for getting off the mat here and playing this game.
Yeah. Hold on, Kevin in the chat. Injury risk in a meaningless game. Well, you still have to practice.
What the fuck are you gonna do your whole fucking life?
I don't understand. When you go to a summer camp or an NBA draft camp, you still have to practice. You're gonna play in, like if you transfer to another team, you might be playing in Europe. I don't understand. What do you mean though? Like, it's not like he's the top pick of the fucking draft. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, he's not gonna get drafted. To what? He's got a better chance of getting drafted to go to war than he does to get drafted in the fucking NBA. All right, like
what the fuck are you, these fucking dude? Who's in these people's fucking ears? You idiot!
That is going to be a clip. I am pulling that.
I'm serious. Like, and why wouldn't you just play basketball? You're going to be playing basketball. Like, you're already like. I guarantee you this. You go home because basketball is one of those things where you need to keep playing it. You can't take 3 months off. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to keep playing it. So why not play nationally televised and a chance with your teammates? I guarantee you, he will regret this in later in life. It's a poor decision, in my opinion. If I was his parents, I would say, no, dude, you should play. Why would you not? Why would you not?
You know what the other crazy thing is? A lot of these guys go home and they play open gym with their fucking guys back home with their high school. It's like, why would you not?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. Who are we kidding here? Like, I've seen plenty of college players playing at like the fucking gyms where I grew up. Like, what are we talking about here? You have to stay in somewhat basketball shape, which means you have to keep playing. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I disagree with Cocktail Napkin for what it's worth. It says the 10 points is probably the right number here, but SMU all season we thought they were just a paper tiger in the SEC or in the ACC, built up against mediocre foes. Northern Iowa, give them kudos to playing this game. They're a bunch of juniors and seniors, a bunch of upperclassmen trying to just go out there and play a couple more games together. I think they are the more motivated squad here, and the money line's not a bad option. I think Rob threw it in there. It was like plus 430 he grabbed.
I agree. I completely agree. George Bush ain't going to be at this one. He's opting out. Even the fucking president's opting out.
If the other two locked it, this is a triple lock. But I just thought that we were kind of betting everything at this point. There's only 10 games.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just dumb. I just can't get over this. Like, no, I'm not going to play. Not going to play. Why?
Why?
Someone explain to me the youth. I do not understand that. Like, I will never understand not playing. You're going to fucking play anyway, somewhere. All right. You get a chance to be on TV and play. Like, you get more tape for the fucking NBA. It's the dumbest fucking ideology I've ever heard in my fucking life. Yeah. Anyway, next up, that's lock music right there. That's
Friends.
Yeah. Where the hell is this? Unbelievable. Not gonna play, guys. Not gonna play the song. Opt out of the song. Yes. Triple lock. It's just the dumbest thing, Rob. It's like with stand up or something. Like you don't just stop doing stand up. You know what I mean? Like
I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like let's just opt out. Let's just opt out.
Yeah, what is the benefit? I love how they say the injuries. An injury happens in basketball. Like he has better. I guarantee you, the odds are higher he gets injured in a car crash than he does on a basketball court. Yeah,
100%. He can get a fucking car accident tomorrow. A fucking back gets done and all that shit.
Every time you're in a gym doing a dry fadeaway, you just repping it out. You have a chance to roll on your ankle.
Anything. I mean, he's got. It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. If anything, you have a window where you're on ESPN where you can actually look good for NBA scouts. I actually think he's hurting his NBA value by his fucking decision making. I really do. Unbelievable. Next up, Northern Colorado is in Irvine, California, taking on UC Irvine. Irvine's laying 7.5.
This is gonna be a good game, I think.
I do think this is a good game.
Give me Northern Colorado. I'm looking forward to this game. This NIT, a couple of these matchups are nice.
Yeah,
Dude, this is what happens when you don't get the shitty high majors coming in here and taking up spots when their rosters are 75% gone.
Thank God they put Carolina in the tournament, so we didn't have to watch them in this real.
Oh, they would have said no, and they would have played in the town.
Yeah. I'm on Northern Colorado too. This game's actually probably better than certainly better than this other NIT game, the Carolina San Diego State
Colorado
game.
Are better than both of these.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think the line's slightly higher than I would have liked to have seen. If I would have wanted the UC Irvine side, I think the Anteaters are one of the best teams in this tournament. I picked them to win it, but I'll go Northern Colorado plus 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's a triple lock right there. The Bears plus the points. Next up, 2 more games left here, folks. Buckle up. Loyola Chicago.
Also better. Oh no, never mind. No, that was the other one. The other one's a banger coming up.
Next one.
This one, I'm going to take Tim Miles and San Jose State to cover the 3.5. I do wonder if San Jose State has opt-outs because, or when I say opt-outs, transfers, because other players transfer every season. But I'm still taking San Jose State here. This will not be a wager though. I need to know. I need an updated roster just because San Jose State gets fucking destroyed in the portal every year. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm on Tim Miles, baby. He's going to get these guys up. They've been shorthanded all year. I think it speaks to his culture that they're playing in this, even despite all these injuries. They're not going to go through the motions. Let's go Spartans. How are they hosting the game, Rob asked? How did they host the game?
Major fail by the NIT here because no one's going to go to no. You could have San Jose State playing UConn. And no one's going to the fucking game in San Jose. If you play this at Loyola, I actually think that place would still be lit. Major fail on the committee in the NIT. So, Bubba, what's the guy's name over there? His brother in the NIT tournament.
Bubba's over here jerking off in the fucking front row because he rigged his fucking
Clubbered Cunningham in the NIT. He's really failing us here by putting this game in San Jose, but I will take San Jose State. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
In the last minute of the game, San Diego State was able to cut the lead to 29 points. So just under 30.
31.5 live bets looking good, baby.
Yeah. For this one, though, I'm going to take the under. I think both of these teams love to move at a snail's-like pace. Loyola Chicago's defense is very good. Colby's questioning about whether or not they're going to have an entire
roster
for Spartans.
hold on. Actually, wait a second. I'm sorry, Bieniek, but Tim Miles is I think Tim. Do we have you on the phone, Tim?
I have a team,
and you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go now. I met with the team. There is no team.
No, I mean, this is all speculation, but even full rosters, I like the under. Cocktail Napkins got it at 138.5. Let's go. I'll take the Ramblers for what it's worth in the game, though.
There you go. The nightcap is a fucking banger. Oh. Utah Valley. Hey, they're not playing at Oracle.
This game is better.
They're back on campus where their fans will have no idea that they're not in the tournament because they're not college basketball fans. So I actually think they'll show up to support their team thinking, hey, we got a chance to make the tournament if we take down Utah Valley. I'm taking the points. I think the Dons win, but I think Utah Valley is good enough to stay within this number. I'm actually going to lock up Valley in the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
We'll battle. Give me San Fran. Them and Santa Clara, they like this tournament.
Now we got a problem.
Oh, you want to get in on this battle, Bieniek?
I think it's a little too many points. I'm going to land on the Wolverines side. This is going to be a great game. Come down to the wire.
Let's go for one Wolverine to another, says Bieniek. We got a battle. Dundee and Bieniek on UV. Mac on these Dons. It's at 30 right now. We need to see if they can make a shot here. Hey, Bozo, there's time on the clock. Oh, what a huge three. And he talks shit to his teammates afterwards.
How about Carolina fucking shot a three when they didn't have to? Like, hey, maybe they're still trying to improve their net because they're running up the score. No, you don't have to, Carolina. You don't have to fucking boast your resume. That fucking prick Bubba's gonna fucking put you in. It's more rigged than a local golf tournament. With Bubba.
RJ Davis had 26 and Cadeau had 12 assists.
Wow. That was a sleeper. It's a good thing we have these NIT games going on. But I've been doing the show. I need to know if St. Louis covered today. No, they lost by this fucking bums. That fat blob of mayo. God damn it. Folks, that's our show. See you in Vegas tomorrow. Come on out. Give Bieniek a follow on Twitter at NoahB77_ Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And
we have a line.
Oh,
Carolina's laying a point against Ole Miss.
I'm laying it.
Nah, beer.
Nah. Yeah, I'm all over Ole Miss. Lock Ole Miss. Ole Miss, let's go. Lock that thing up. Let's go. Till next time, folks. Check out the College Baseball Experience. All right. Road to Omaha, heating up. Check out the College Football Experience, coaching, hire, schedule release stuff. We got you covered over there. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm up next talking college hoops with them. So it never ends. I'm a machine at this point. Just 8 hours a day, or no, actually way more than fucking 8 hours a day. Like 14 hours a day. It's just like blah 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 blah, right? And then I find out someone opts out, and then I bitch for 5 minutes, and it's back to blah 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 blah. Till next time. This is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
My celling's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins, over the ledge and ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a ride day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But Samford on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My cellie's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour.